Did you watch AEW Dynamite?
Yes, I did. Last week was
Was
500.
last week like 560 or 540? Okay, it was under 600. All right, and it was literally like
Bro,
300.
that's terrible,
Bro,
right?
it
Okay,
was.
let me ask you a question. That's terrible,
Of course
right?
it is, and this is how terrible it was. It was 300,000 viewers less from Thanksgiving Eve the year before.
Wow.
How brutal is that?
Yep.
You know. So this year the numbers went up to 500 last week. So this week it went up to 586. It's still, bro, they're under 600 for 2 weeks in a row now.
How bad is that?
Terrible. It's just that they're not, and I'll tell you, and I said this too. It's like, dude, it's like your show is flat, okay, and now you got this stupid Continental Classic thing that nobody gives a rent, and this shows the numbers show this. Nobody
Right.
cares about this. This is not episodic storytelling. It's tournaments with brackets, and it's nobody cares, So I don't know. They're stuck in the mud. Well, let's talk about the show. Get it up here. So the show opens up. Okay, they did a couple. Actually, there were some things I liked on the show, though. Okay, even though the show stunk, but let me. And I would argue with anybody that the reason a lot of people are not watching the show and is down like almost 100,000 people from the because they're doing like 650, 680. Bro,
Right.
they lost 100,000 of those people really quick for 2 weeks now. Okay, and I think because, bro, when you're promoting the Continental Classic, this is not much. That's not much watch TV at all. It's
Right.
like I don't care about that. Like literally like a
Right.
fifth of their
Only
audience.
the
Is like,
marks like that.
right, and it's like it's like so they're missing the show because like all their advertising of the Continental Classic matches and
Well,
like
you know that
stuff.
Tony's a big fan of Japan wrestling, and they do a lot of those type of tournaments.
Right. Okay. So they did it once again. They did a video package to open the show, recapping the Continental Classic matches. But the video package, and I mind you, they are doing a good job better of doing the video packages. But each thing was like a 10 segment highlight reel from each match. So it's like big deal. They're catching up on the thing. So the first it starts with Kyle Fletcher versus Sheldon Benjamin in a Continental Classic. Konnan, do you know the difference between the Blue League and the Gold League in
No,
these Continental Classic matches? Okay.
no.
All right. Well, this is a Blue League match, right? So Fletcher, so this is weird. Fletcher looks so much more uninspiring with his head shaved.
Right.
I mean, he kind of looked flamboyant when he had the hair, and he shaved his head. He just looks like a guy now. But basically, this typical AEW match, 15 minutes, and they did a thing where Fletcher cheated and held the rope to get the pin, and he got the best part of this whole match was Don Callis running to the back like escaping.
Yeah, he showed that well.
Yeah, because his run was like very unathletic looking and like kind of like
Right.
so I popped. That was literally like my favorite thing about the whole match. But Fletcher does have some decent heat
Right.
because of what he's been doing. So he got the proper reaction here. Sheldon got the babyface reaction. So you got any comment on this?
Well, I know you're going to disagree with me, but I kind of like this show because I like the pacing of the show. I think
let's go over it and we'll do that at the end. But I'm going to say, what did you think about this specific segment?
Okay, but let me just say this overall. Okay. I think they're listening to the critics and some of the more experienced fans who've seen the holes in the booking and everything we have been complaining about.
They're trying to rectify, it seems like.
Right.
The video packages.
The intro video at the top of the show I thought was very good. And I liked the pacing of the show. And I really liked the first match, right? I thought it was funny when the show entered, the camera was panning the crowd. And they stopped for a moment with a guy holding up a Free Phoenix sign. I didn't know if you saw that.
Oh, no, I did not see that. Yeah. But, bro, every time they pan the crowd, it's not a good look.
Right.
The crowd looks broke. Like, it's very poorly dressed. It's like, yes, it's not.
Kind of, yeah, right.
So
this was a good match, really good match, but 15 minutes is too long for me. But AEW, they love those long matches.
That's the whole purpose of this whole thing, is for the match. You're putting all your best workers in there with matches against each other, and they think that's the draw. And like I said, even the wrestlers don't put over that they're like, what does the Continental Classic winner get? Like, it's just like, who cares? There's already like 9 million belts in the company, and it's like you're wrestling for something else now. If you win
let me just say Don Callis was very good on commentary, okay? And Shelton's supposed to be a heel, but the people were cheering him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, because he's going against Fletcher. So, so this is great. So they did a thing. They go to the announcers, and Tony Schiavone goes, "There's a signal, and here he is." Like real over the top, Hook came out. Okay, so he had his typical dressed like a slob again, like he's got the hoodie on. I guess that's his gimmick. Said he heard Nick Wayne wants to fight him in New York City, and he said he had a better idea. He'd rather fight Wayne's father, Christian Cage, and leave him in worse shape than they left his father, Taz. And Hook called out Wayne. When Christian's music played, he came out with Mother Wayne. Then Christian held the case for a shot at the AEW World Championship contract. Then Nick Wayne and Sabian jumped Hook, and Hook got the better of both of them. Then this is where it broke down because there's a lot of green people in here besides Christian. So Mother Wayne distracted Hook, which led to Christian hitting him with the contract case. And the heels ganged up on Hook, and they wrapped a chair around the wrist of Hook, and Nick slammed another chair on it, and Hook sold a wrist injury while the heels left the ring, okay? Bro, the timing on, like, Hook was in there and got distracted, and just, it was awkward, because they didn't, I don't know, it's just like, this was very...
I like the finish because Christian hit him with the briefcase, right?
Right.
And then they did the thing on his arm.
Yeah, they started beating. Christian was actually throwing good-looking punches.
Right, I forgot about that.
So he's like beating him up, which you never see a punch on the show anymore. Everybody and their mother was doing the forearms. Right. Even Sheldon, and then Sheldon and Kyle Fletcher exchanged probably the better part of 40 forearms each to each other in that match. You know, like I'm just,
And they don't even look like they hurt.
If you're gonna wrestle,
they don't sell anything.
Right, and if you're gonna wrestle for 15 minutes. And 3 minutes of it is forearming each other and you're not selling it or getting knocked down ever with it. Even it's like what's the purpose,
And I have nothing against Mother Wayne. I'm just hating, not stating, but she really doesn't add anything to that group.
She's too big.
Right.
She's like towers over the like all the wrestlers. Like she's bigger than Nick Wayne. Hook.
Yeah, she was also wearing boots.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why she wear right?
but she adds nothing to the group, in my opinion.
She never says a word
and does nothing. And does nothing. Okay, Hook is a great kid because I've met him. You would love him too. Very respectful. I'm sure Taz raised him that way. But bro, you need to put on some weight. You and Daniel Garcia should put on get some protein shakes in you and put on some weight because you don't come off as intimidating when you're that small.
Right. So Renee Paquette caught up with Mercedes Moné and told Indianapolis to say hello to the CEO. She asked Moné about Camille being found knocked out backstage on Rampage. They did, brother, by the way, they didn't show this, okay? So they couldn't put a package together showing her knocked out on Rampage. Okay. Moné said she told Paquette not to say Camille's name, and then Moné switched the focus to Anna Jay and said she'd be watching her match with Penelope Ford very closely. So backstage, MVP told Sheldon he loved him, but he's disappointed him, so that's not how we do things. Then MVP and Lashley walked away, and then a crew member just happened to be walking behind Benjamin. Benjamin turned around and beat the guy up, and a bunch of security guards beat up. And actually, they gave these security guards a pretty good beating because there was a garage door there, and they kept slamming the guys into the garage door, and it was making a lot of noise, and it looked good. So I
thought this was a great segment because he was telling him, you had him beat.
We heard, right,
right, yeah, right. And I love you, but God, you know what I'm saying? And then to get his heat back, they beat They beat up the security guards. This was very well done.
Okay. This was not very well done. Okay, because they come back from commercial. And let me tell you who's in the ring. Okay? Lance Archer, Brian Cage, The Butcher, Evil Uno, Rocky Romero, Dante Martin, Darius Martin, Action Andretti, Leo Rush, Mark Davis, and Kyle O'Reilly. They're all standing in the ring. So they have to sit there and watch Adam Cole do his whole entire ring entrance while they all just sit there and watch the guy. Okay?
That was probably the best part of the match.
So then they go into this battle royal.
But let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Did you not know who was going to win?
Of course. The storyline was Riley and Cole.
Right.
And it came down to like Archer did this terrible spot with Cole, or it was Archer where he went to punch him with a left hand, he like ducked. Then he went to punch him with a big right hand, ducked. So then he like ran at the guy. The guy got out of the way. And he went to kick him. And he landed on the top. Bro, this is if Lance watches that spot back, he's gonna say, "Oh, this does not look good." So it came down to Cage and O'Reilly won, right? And Excalibur explained that Cole and O'Reilly will meet on next week's show for the right to challenge MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Who about that ring?
So simple. Get the Continental Classic, the Dynamite Diamond Ring. We got 9. Everybody has a belt.
Right.
It's like, what, you know, it's like.
And you forgot when that girl got the trophy for 50 matches.
Right.
Let me tell you this. I'm not a fan of Battle Royals anymore. In MLW, twice I had to agent a 30-man Battle Royal.
Right.
It was brutal. I hate watching them. And in AAA, because we do sponsorships, and let's say for example, Ever Ready is sponsoring us, we'll have an Ever Ready Cup. If Wonder Bread is sponsoring us, we do a Wonder Bread Cup. So we do all these cups, but I will say that they used to be terrible in AAA, but now I get help from Laredo Kid, and we sit down and we go with 4 times, and I think the last 4 in AAA have been pretty good.
Cool. Let me read you Powell's POV from this.
Right.
Was there a single regular AEW television viewer who didn't think that Cole and O'Reilly would be the final 2?
No.
Is there a single AEW television viewer who actually wants to see this never-ending Kingdom saga?
I'm with you on that one, bro.
So I got to give them credit for this. They're doing these Julia Hart videos, and they're actually very well done, but still, it's like, you can't get over that. You'd think like The Undertaker was coming back with like the level of quality, but it's Julia Hart who still has no clue how to do facial expressions or work a character. So, this I liked. So Max Caster was telling an annoyed Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn to let him do the talking when she comes in for the
This
interview.
is very good.
Then Renee Paquette asked if everything was good, and Caster said everything was great. Gunn said that's not true. He said they've been trying to talk Caster out of facing Swerve Strickland. Then Gunn said Caster was going about this all wrong, and Caster said no. Bowens said Caster calls himself the best wrestler alive, and you should go prove it. Then Caster thanked him for the support and tried to lead a cheer that Bowens and Gunn ignored. This was actually the best thing.
Really good.
This TV right here was actually the best stuff on the show. Okay, so then Swerve and Nana come out. The referee calls them for the bell, and bro, this was just perfect. Swerve beat.
Right.
It's just like with all the kicks and everything that he teased, that just squashed him. Right. He teased leaving, but he stopped on the apron, looked back at Caster, who's still down the mat, and Swerve looked at the cheering crowd before hitting a Swerve stomp from the top rope after the match. Then Swerve looked into the camera and said there's a little bit left in 2024 and it belonged to him. Lashley, this isn't over yet, Swerve said before leaving the ring. And this is actually good for Swerve because he got a good squash.
Yeah, this was well booked.
Yeah, it was a little sidebar.
A guy that comes off as a goofball, right? Like him should not be have a long match with Swerve.
Right.
He beat him in like 2 minutes. Boom.
Right. And he got it because the vignette they did before was funny.
Right.
With him, like, it's good stuff. So MJF was at a bar and he laughed and said this was classic. He said he and Adam Cole were white hot and everyone in the company was happy. He spoke about record-breaking business while he was champion. Then MJF said Cole turned on him and created a butterfly effect that left Roderick strong with a broken arm, and now Cole has to face O'Reilly. MJF blamed Cole for Jon Moxley taking the world championship and ruling over AEW with an iron fist. And MJF said he's sick of Cole walking around and pretending he's the hero when he's the villain. The MJF labeled Cole a jaundice-infected villain. MJF said Cole can't beat O'Reilly, and it will be proven next week at Dynamite. And MJF said Cole should thank him for that, and he kissed the Dynamite ring. So MJF is trying to make that match more interesting with this promo, but I still don't care, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm the same with you. I don't care about this.
Like, even his delivery's really good and stuff, but it's like this material is just like so lame, you know?
Yeah.
So they did Jay White versus Pac, and Wheeler Yuta was out there. Yuta pulled White to ringside and hit him with a Busako knee while the referee was distracted by Pac. Then Yuta rolled White back inside the ring, and Pac picked up White and hit him with a Blade Runner and scored the win. After the match, Yuta went after White, who put him down with a Blade Runner. Then Marina Shafir showed up, distracted him long enough for Jon Moxley to hit him from behind. Then Moxley hit a Death Rider on him. Then Hangman Page made his entrance. Moxley was about to make his exit over the barricade. Then Moxley went to the entrance to face Page down, and a mass production crew member came out of nowhere and used a cable to choke Moxley. Then Shafir pulled the hold back to reveal it was Orange Cassidy. And Shafir went after Cassidy, who dumped over the barricade, and Pac and Yuta worked over Page and tossed him out of the ring. Cassidy drilled Yuta and then Pac with orange punches. That he actually wrote that. Then Moxley turned around and showed anger. Cassidy blasted Moxley with an orange punch. White stood up and hit Moxley with a Blade Runner. When Moxley got to his feet, Page hit him with the buckshot lariat. AEW chants broke out, and then Christian Cage walked out holding his contract case while Moxley was recovering in the entrance aisle. Then Christian headed to the back while Moxley was surrounded by his allies. What'd you think of this?
Well, I like the match. I actually watched it because I like Pac and I like Jay White, and I thought the match was good. The aftermath, there was some parts I liked, some parts I didn't. I liked him coming in with the hood and choking him. I liked whoever dumped Shafir over the thing there.
Mm-hmm.
And the video recapping White and Pac's feud was really good. And I thought just like you, I thought it was very funny when Chrissy came out with the briefcase, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay. So next was, let me see.
What do you think of this?
I mean, like this is, that group is all they're doing is just like attacking people and jumping them and I don't know. It's just I'm not interested in this, to be honest with you. They're painting this thing into like it's going to be a four-way for the belt.
Yeah.
And it's like, why on earth is there going to be a four-way when Christian has this thing where he should be clever enough to have used this at some point to like, you know what I'm saying, to get a better spot.
Maybe
I don't know.
Christian's old school and he's smart, so I'm thinking he's going to cash in. When he thinks it'll get the biggest pop.
Jamie Hayter cut a backstage promo and said the Julius Hart mind games don't work for her. She said she's more of a face-to-face type of gal. And she asked if this was about her triumphant return at Wembley. Hayter said she came back to right a wrong and settle a score that has nothing to do with Hart. Hayter said the International Women's Cup means a lot to her. The International Women's Cup.
Yeah, I know. I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard it in the promo.
It means a lot. Means a lot to her.
Yeah.
She's determined to take it all the way.
Right.
Hayter said she's ready to fight anytime, any place, but you can't fight what you can't see. And Hayter said when Hart comes back, she'll be laid out on the mat and she will be the last thing that Hart sees. This was very weird. Chris Jericho.
Well, let me just say this. I actually liked the Hayter promo.
Right. Jericho stood next to a TV screen that had a breaking news graphic on it, and he High of Honor Final Battle and the other Hammerstone Ballroom shows, as well as AEW All in Texas. Jericho said he would have a special TV time segment on tomorrow's Ring of Honor television show and would have more details about who he will face at Final Battle. I'm Chris Jericho, and this has been a New York Minute, Jericho said to close the segment. This was basically a market spec.
Right.
I was like, why is Jericho doing a market?
Which is funny because
it was funny, but like this, that was like, wow, they're literally having to do market specs now. That's kind of weird, like,
right.
That's usually like for WCW Saturday night,
right.
Like the market specs. So
yeah, but Jericho's doing a great job because except for the hi guys, he's getting a lot of heat. People are like, we're tired of you, and he doesn't care.
Well, I thought the funniest thing about this is that in the big picture, right, they're having trouble filling seats.
Right.
Okay, bro, how big is the Hammerstone Ballroom? The Hammerstein Ballroom?
I don't think I've ever been in there.
2,500, 3,000 people or something like that.
I don't know.
And they're actually on national television.
Can you look it up?
Yeah, but this was funny that they were on national television talking about how there's still tickets left for this show.
Right.
The Hammerstein Ballroom is like, it's like, really? The thing's not sold out yet? Okay, let me see here.
It's not sold out yet?
I don't know. That's what he said. He said there's good tickets still left.
Okay.
Let me see. Website. Hammerstein Ballroom. See capacity. Manhattan. Hang on. Let me see here. Let me go see what Grok has to say. How many seats does the Hammerstein Ballroom have for wrestling? And Grok says 2,500 people for wrestling. So that's kind of weird that he would do a market spec for.
How many people?
2,500.
Can you see how many tickets they've sold?
No, I can go to. Let's just finish this and we'll go do it afterwards.
But he can edit this.
Hang on,
Since you're on there, just look real quick.
Let's see. I'll go to WrestleTix. Okay, WrestleTix says SmackDown for January. Okay, Friday Night SmackDown. The Fisher events. Okay, for Indiana. No. Live Holiday Tour. TNA. Breaking. AEW World's End in 4,000. AEW Dynamite Rampage Fisher King. I don't think they've actually had this. They've listed this yet. Maybe because tickets haven't gone, are just going on sale. Oh, Hammerside Ballroom. Okay. Well, as of Friday, okay, that shows on Friday, December 20th. Saturday, December 21st is Collision, and Sunday is Dynamite. Okay. Wow, they're only sitting there for like 1,300 people, and they're still, as of 3 days ago, 400. They've distributed 979 tickets for Ring of Honor Final Battle, right? 417 tickets are still available.
Wow.
Okay, as a 3K.
And this is a show that usually.
Okay, Dynamite, which is going to film on Sunday, they've distributed 1,310 tickets. There's still 86 tickets to, like, they haven't even sold it. They haven't even sold these out yet. Or maybe they have now. It's 3 days later, but like wow, that's,
Usually when other companies have been there, they sell out really quick.
Right. Okay, so so they did a video package for Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford because these two had a feud like a couple years ago, and they had a bloody match that they were showing the highlights of, which is kind of weird. So they did this video package that showed their bloody feud that they had. Like, this is
Right.
like a feud for the age. I think they called it a feud for the ages. I
Right.
think the announcers actually said, you know how the match started?
She went to give her a handshake, and,
Yeah.
right, and they talk some trash to each other.
Right. And like, it's like, really? It's like, and I think you might have wanted to watch that video package and promoted that you guys is a vicious feud, and you're
Right.
offered to
Didn't look like a vicious feud.
Not at all. But Anna Jay goes over because she's going to be, after the match, she called out Mercedes Moné, and Moné said if Chris Statler can't beat her, then what makes Jay think she can? And Moné entered the ring and told Jay that if she wants a title shot, she needs to come back in 10 years once she's done something in the business. Something like this, Jay asked before slapping Moné in the face, who grabbed her title belts and just left the ring.
Yeah.
Did this make you excited for their match?
No, not interested at all. Now, Anna Jay's come a long way because
Right.
if you remember, she used to be in with the Dark Order. Yeah,
Right.
Dark Order. And you would think, what's she doing with these scrubs, right?
Right.
And they haven't used her right. She went to Japan, got better, but there's still a lot of holes in her game. I think she's a future superstar.
So they were doing a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette and Mariah May, and May asked Paquette if Paquette had friends, if she just sits and pokes holes in everyone else. Paquette was going to leave, and May told her sit and listen. She spoke about giving her friend a title shot. She said, shaking will only get you so far, and it's time to go to work. Then they showed in the background Manish Shirakawa could be seen stomping through the hallway, but Paquette and May didn't notice. Then May said the women's division implied that it's because she's such a dominant champion. Then, okay, now mind you, Mariah May got heat on Manish Shirakawa by hitting her with a bottle over the back of the head, right? So Shirakawa shows up behind May and comes in the picture, and she's got a bottle. Okay, now mind you, she'd already been. This girl hit her with the bottle from behind.
Right, she just hands it to her.
She hands it to her, says, "Next time, do this to my face," and hands her the bottle like to hit me. And I'm like,
bro, not interested. I know you like Mina Sheriko, whatever.
I'm
just not interested.
I'm not.
But I think May's an excellent heel, and I would love to know what happened to Tony Storm.
Yeah, but she didn't have to cuss. I don't understand.
But
it's so lazy. The cussing on the show is so lazy. You don't like if you speak well.
Right.
Why cuss? Like your
right.
verbiage
But
is fine.
I like I said again, I like May a lot. I liked her promo here. And where is Tony Storm?
Right. So the main event on the show is a Continental Classic title match. Okay, and I posted on X about this because I watched the show on Hulu. Right. And at 2 hours in the middle of this match, the show cut off.
Really?
The show ends on Hulu. They did not extend it. They didn't time the show out for Hulu fans. And Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez have been arguing about this. And Dave says you should record the next show so you don't miss anything. That's on you.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, time out here. I've got Hulu. I'm watching a match.
Right.
It's getting near the finish. This is the end of the show. This is the big climax of the show. It cuts off. So what do I have to do now? I got to X out of this show.
Right.
I have to go to my recordings on Hulu, pull it up, go to the next show, and start the next show. Bro, that's like I literally have to do time-consuming things just to watch the rest of the match.
Right.
That's so. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. Like, you can't.
You can't be more
You can't.
professional,
You're losing viewers,
right?
and you're making it difficult for
And your
viewers,
viewers, and your yeah,
and making it difficult to watch the content.
bro. They shoot themselves in the foot
It's
so many
unbelievable.
times.
So I guess that Claudio won. Okay.
Yeah, Claudia did win.
Okay, and they showed the right. So because I'm reading this is what they were because I didn't tape the next show. So, but it's pretty funny. Is they always showed this board, and it looks like a tic tac. It looks like tic tac toe, like it's like a
Right.
board game,
Right.
stuff like with the points and stuff and everything. So Castagnoli's in the lead with 6 points. That's literally how the show ended. They
Right.
showed the scores,
Very flat.
and it's at 508. Now they're regular.
How many did they do? 580.
580. 2 weeks in a
Wow.
row under 600.
Yeah.
Bro, like a year and a half ago, they were doing 900,000 to 1 million when Punk
I know,
was on.
every
Like,
week.
and it's like, and now it's like 2 years. It's like how the mighty have fallen. It's like,
And I will say, I liked seeing Hangman, Switchblade, and Orange Cassidy forming like an alliance to go against the Death Raiders.
right.
That will
Death
be
Riders,
interesting.
right.
Yeah, Death Riders. That'll be interesting. But the Death Riders are not over with me. How about you?
No, not at all. Bro, they don't. They come out there and they talk and they really don't say much and they just attack people and gang up on them.
Yeah.
And they would talk about how they're taking over and you guys and it's like, where did that angle go?
They don't look intimidating.
Like, like we thought the Moxley was.
They
gonna be
don't look
involved in
like guys that you're like.
Right.
I like Pac and White gave us a good match.
Well, let's do the top 5 for the week because I got. Do you have your top 5 for the week?
Yeah.
Okay, I have my top 5 for the week. I want to
Wait,
start
one
with mine.
Let me find mine.
You can turn that thing on your phone off.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
So top 5 of the week. Okay, a Rampage segment, or what you call it, a Dynamite segment, number 5, the Max Caster thing with Swerve.
Right,
That whole
that was funny.
thing that was very good television. Number 4 was going to be the Kevin Owens promo with the explanation and stuff. Everything very well done with the timeline of events. Number 3 was the Roman and Punk sit down before the
Right.
pay-per-view. Number 2 was the opening segment of Raw with Rollins, Punk, Sami Zayn, and number 1 by far was the New Day turn. That's actually not even by far, but that was like you could take those top 3 were all 3 excellent that stood out from the other stuff. The Rollins Punk, Sammy.
Yeah, I have them in different orders, but
What do you got?
honorable mention backstage thing with Caster, just like you. Christian coming out with the briefcase, Callis running around, and the hater promo. Okay,
That's right. Okay.
he's great. Number 5, the Owens video. Number 4, the Drew return. Number 3, the New Day thing. Number 2, the in ring with Punks and Rollins. Who did I have as number 1?
It's got to be the Roman Punk sit down, right?
The Roman and Punk sit down. My bad.
Right,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.